How's it going, guys? Welcome to today's video. Right here beside me we have our Bobman Pro Max, lovely and washed up by Ty. Now we've had the Bobman Pro Max for 6 years now. This one we've had for 3 years, and we had a different one for 3 years before that, but it was kind of starting to fall apart a little bit, so we upgraded to this one, and this one has lasted much better. And the Bobman is a good machine, does a great job, cleans cubicles, throws out the lime. You have a little scraper on the front here for, you know, scraping small passageways and little bits here. It's not that big, so you don't want to be doing a huge pile with it, but it does do a good job. And for the most part, we really like it. But there's a couple of things that I don't like about the Bobman, and there's one thing that I'd say nobody likes about it. The first thing I don't really like about it is, although it's really good at doing its job of liming cubicles and cleaning cubicles, and it's very manoeuvrable in around shed, it doesn't have a huge range of jobs outside of that. Now you can take off the scraper here on the front, and you can get different attachments, silage pushers and brushes and different bits, and bigger scrapers and bits and bobs. It's not really the simplest to take it on and off. There was a quick release here which always broke, so you end up putting a bolt, which means that you always need a spanner or something to take it off. And often if you want to change this attachment, you will need to remove the brush as well. There are some quick releases for the hoses, which is a good job. But for the other attachments that I've looked into getting for it, one, they're very expensive, and there's not a huge amount that you can really extra do with the machine. She's kind of limited to what she can do. And this is the Bobman Pro Max. This is the smallest version they have. I've never had any of the other ones, but this is probably the most versatile one for regards putting on other attachments. All the rest of them are bigger hoppers and things. Now the other thing I don't like about it, or we don't like on this farm about it, and it is compounded by the third thing we don't like that we'll get into in a minute, is the build quality. The build quality isn't as good as it should be, as good as I reckon. And I'll mention the third thing we don't like with that. I don't think anybody likes them, is they're a very expensive machine. There's no doubt about it, no way putting it any other way. They're very expensive. Now for the job they do and the physical labour that they reduce of carrying around 9 buckets and stuff on in a big enough farm, definitely worth it, but it's very expensive. And that compounds the fact that it's not that versatile at doing anything else, and build quality for what you're paying, I'd expect to get better. This, only 3 years old, gives us a bit more trouble than I would like, and things that give us trouble on a regular basis, they don't last long. And if you've seen the title and the thumbnails of this video, you probably know where this video is going. Particularly the blower is, you know, unless your lime is nice and soft, if it gets anyway damp at all, or if you have something goes in there, it can jam it up and you end up taking the whole thing apart to try and unblock it. For the most part now, the newer ones here, like this one, the frames and that are built much stronger than the old ones, which we had trouble with before. Like, they are a good machine, but it just gives that little bit more trouble than we would like, and you don't want to spend 2 or 3 hours taking this apart on a Sunday in the middle of March when you're busy calving, which has happened more times than I would like. But I don't like to be speaking bad about machines, but just that's our experience with it. It is a brilliant machine. It's really manoeuvrable. It's great at doing its job for the most part. When it's running, we love it, but it just gives that little bit too much trouble because there's just too many small little things that aren't strong enough. You know, you can see little pieces here that we've had to weld back together. It's an expensive machine for the price we're paying. You'd think it would just be a little bit harder and last a little bit longer. Given its lack of versatility and it giving us a little bit of trouble, we decided that we're going to change it. So this is our new Daisy Bed CL250, I think it's called. So we saw this machine last year at Personal Agri in near Ballycallan in Kilkenny. They're very local to us, and they actually do deal with the Bobman now. So we were in the yard getting some parts, and Dad saw this machine. So they've been making these Daisy Bed. Some of you may have heard before of the Daisy Bed walk behind machine, very common one. It's kind of a push behind machine with your brush and a lime dispenser on it. As far as I'm aware, they're very, very popular, but for us we wanted something a little bit bigger, obviously, and this is more of a step up. Now I know I said the Bobman was expensive, this is actually more expensive. And the hopper here on the side is actually 100 litres versus about 35 on the Bobman. So normally we'd be filling the Bobman about 3 times to get through all the outdoor cubicles, 4 times to do the whole lot. One fill of this should do the whole outdoor cubicles, which would be a big help. But one of the big differences with this machine, it's bigger, it's more powerful, but it's completely versatile machine. This is Daisy Bed CL250, CL standing for compact loader, and 250 I think standing for 250 kilos, which is the lift capacity of this front loader. This part here, which we will lift up in a minute, is actually a front loader. So just quickly having lifted up the loader here, CL250. So this is the front loader on it, and we have our attachment here on the front with our brush and a little scraper, so we can quickly pop this off. If you see in here the way it is hooked on, it's almost like the brackets of your tractor loader or a skid steer loader, as in that we can just disconnect the pipes very easily. Quick releases on them, and we can just unlatch. We can unlatch our pieces here, and we can put on other attachments really easy, as if it's like the front loader of a tractor or loader. And we have got a couple of extra attachments. So the lads threw in a spare brush, very kind of them. We have got ourselves a little bucket, a 5-foot scraper, and a set of pallet forks. They also do like a bale spike and like a grab, an actual hydraulic little dung grab. We didn't go for them. So as far as I'm aware, this loader, compact loader, is actually Italian made, and the guys in Daisy Bed are bringing these in, and they are putting on their equipment onto it to make this machine. So we got a big nice 100 litre hopper and all our controls and this whole scraper and brush system that they're putting onto it. And I think they have made some adjustments to the actual machine itself from when they brought it in, as locating the air filter on the outside so it can easily be blown out quickly. Very important with a machine like this. You got to be blowing out the air filters quite regularly because you're doing it in a very dusty environment. And I believe they've also filled these wheels with silicone. So the wheels on this, front wheels are bigger than the front wheels of the Bobman, but the back wheel I think is a bit smaller. They're actually same size. Still a 3-wheel machine. We got rear lights on it, front light, front little light here. We're going to be able to do a lot more with this machine. Should be able to lift a straw bale or a blue barrel of liquid, or it should give us a lot more versatility. And then hopefully from a reliability point of view, we'll see, from what I've heard of people who have them, they seem to be getting on very well with them. We'll see how they last. I can't tell on its reliability for another 2 or 3 years, but it is a bigger and much stronger built machine. So we got this from Personal Agri in Kilkenny. Shout out to them, they're really good to deal with. They haven't sponsored this video or anything. That's where we got it, in case you are wondering. They do deal with the Bobmans as well. If you're looking for second-hand ones, you know where my one has gone. Really looking forward to trying this machine out. This line box, as well as being bigger, it is built quite hardy. We have an adjustable opening here, so we can adjust how much lime is falling out, and we can actually adjust the speed of the blower as well for how far it throws. Maybe a little bit more of a challenge turning around in our narrow passageways here, but at least you have the ability to lift up the loader if it helps. And then there's our brush and scraper. I've just taken off. Let's have the bucket on at the moment. So we'll have to find the spot for these. This is the bobman shed where it's going to probably the bobman shed. We can't call it that anymore. We'll have to call it the lime shed or the Daisy Bed shed. Just put them out here. They're not really in the way here, but maybe they're in the way if I want to put lime into the house. We'll see. We'll figure out a place for them that they're out of the way of everything else in a convenient spot. Right, so we have the Daisy Bed machine nearly a week now, and I've been trying it out. It is not as clean as it was when we got it, but very happy with it so far. Yeah, it's proven to be pretty handy. Most days nearly the brush is coming off and the bucket or the pallet forks are going on, or a scraper or something, to do some bit around the yard as well, which is a big help. And I expect, particularly going into the spring now, with bedding up calves and moving straw bales around, it'd be handy to have this, that we don't always have to get the JCB if the JCB is busy at something else. I'm very happy with it so far. You're going to see a lot more of this in my future videos, and hopefully throughout the year we'll get to use it for all different bits and bobs. That's going to be all for today's video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.